Okay, welcome or welcome back to Corekeeper. Now, this video today is going to focus on pets. Just, everything to do about pets. So, first of all, if you don't have any pets, what you need to do is make yourself a pet incubator. I've just connected mine to a wood farm because it's already running on generators and it's a good place to keep my eggs. So once you've put your egg in the incubator, it takes a little while, I think about 30 minutes or so. And then you'll get yourself a little egg, and you can open it, and you'll get yourself a pet, like this guy. He's pretty cute. But what are pets good for? Well, this pet, for example, is good for reminding you to subscribe. Aha. Actually, what he's really good for is applying buffs to your character. In this case, I have movement speed. Triple Trouble is a great skill to have. I'm not really worried about doing more damage. I was primarily worried about a lack of speed with my mage build, shown here. If you wanted more information on my mage build, you can check out my last video on Corekeeper. So, range attack speed, and then movement speed, again, Triple Trouble. And this is a critical hit chance and ranged attack speed. I think I'm going to reset this guy. I still want my movement speed, but I do want some Triple Trouble. And I want critical hit chance. And movement speed, and we'll do Triple Trouble again. So I'm still fairly slow. Let's see here. That's why I have mana per second instead of speed on my rings. But anywho, so the Owlix is probably the first pet that you'll get, I believe. Let's go ahead and put ours away so we can focus on the other pets. So we have the Subterrier, a Embertail, the Junior Orange Slime, the Fan Hare, the Junior Purple Slime, the Junior Lava Slime, the Prince Slime, the Ferromoth, and finally the Snugglegrade. Now there is one pet that I am missing. It is a Junior Blue Slime. We'll see if we can get him before the final product gets released, after done editing and things like that. But let's take a look at the Subterrier, for example. Now the Subterrier does melee damage, he has a chance to stun targets. It's a critical hit chance buff, he has 20% damage, and he has 0.5 health per second. Mine is at max level, yours may vary. In this case, I have set him up for critical hit chance, which as a mage actually makes a lot of sense, since with a mage build such as mine, question mark, yes, skills. I have, let's see here. Oh, okay, that's cooking. Hold on, let me cook. I'll find the magic eventually. Here we are. Critical hit chance is already at 5%, so it's, and you get your mana back on a critical hit. So as you can tell, this particular pet is going to give me critical hit chance of 29%, and then plus the 50 from my pet. Yeah, that's pretty high. It's almost 80%, 79%. But I digress. Kind of like this little pet. He's been sitting in my box for a while because I usually just use pets that aren't maxed out, and I just level them up and I can see what kind of stats I can get on them. A little bit of RNG involved, not too bad. Next we're going to take a look at the Embertail. Now he gives you glow, he does range damage, potentially burning on attack, health per second, and a critical hit damage buff, which is great. In this particular case, he's got burn on apply hit, extra glow, ranged attack speed, critical hit damage. There's 4 of those, which means, he would do some pretty big damage on critical hits. And then you can consume the fire, the burning that's already on your monster will just go out immediately and do all the damage it was going to do at once. So Embertail he's okay. Not my favorite. You're gonna take a look at the Snuggle Grade next. They do melee damage. Chance to gain mana on hit. Not sure how much mana they would be giving you, so metas may want to use this and experiment with it, but again, he gives movement speed. In this case, 30% with the zoomies. So you can potentially get quite a few of these zoomie skills on your pets. This one only has one. Triple amount of damage, so 7% is potentially better than triple treat, I think. Triple threat. And damage to bosses is something that, you know, if you're near the end game and you basically just want to farm bosses for rare drops. A lot of people just use starting dominance on their Snuggle Grade. Now, the Vermoth, I think, is the only pet that gives you a static dodge. Critical hit chance. And critical hit damage. But he gives you 5% dodge, and if you're building a dodge build, this is probably going to be your pet of choice. Now, the Prince Slime is probably going to be your pet of choice if you like to do damage but bosses. As you can see, I've got Azumi's here. Oh, this one's set up for melee attack speed. So if you're building for melee, you're going to want that attack speed, and you don't always find it on a lot of pets, especially not 30%. And critical hit damage. And more importantly, I just like the look of the Prince Slime, as well as the Junior Slime. All the slimes are my favorite, just because of their aesthetics. So this has zoomies, critical hit damage, damage against bosses. The burn is also part of the Junior Slime's kit. He has glow and burn damage. I'm going to just take a look at Junior Purple Slime. So he's the Junior Purple Slime, I believe, is the best character the best pet when you're building a poison build. Because he's at 27% to apply poison, and it reduces their healing, which is great because some bosses like to heal if they go into range. He's got 60% movement speed, which is pretty great because he has 2 zoomies. Melee damage, melee attack speed. And that's just for, you know, if I ever wanted to build a poison build. Haven't experimented with it yet. Would be curious to try one out for the sake of a video. Now we've got your Fan Hair. Again, he also does poison damage, but it's ranged instead of the Junior, which is melee. So again, he'll have the 15% to apply poison, reducing their healing received. Critical hit chance is at 10% with the laser pointy play. And that's range damage, range attack speed, critical hit damage, damage against bosses. And this is another one that you don't see very often, is the hypersonic claw, meaning that if you're using ranged, your projectiles will go through the first enemy and hit an additional enemy. Otherwise, it just hits the first one and stops. And last but not least, we have the Junior Orange Slime. So he can reduce movement speed of your target, and he's got some melee speed, movement speed buffs because of zoomies. So as you can see, you can get 5 total skills per pet. Once you reach the bottom tier, you're allowed to go back up to the top, so you don't have to choose between 1 or 2. You can actually go back when you're done. And then this is another target reduce speed. I mean, if you're fast enough, you don't really care how fast your enemies are. So deal up 30% damage based on the target's remaining health. So if your target has lots of health, you do more. If your target has less health, you do more damage. And that's pretty much it for the pets that we have here. So now what we're going to do is visit our friend who sells giant slime selling idols. We're going to take all those because we're going to try to get ourselves the Junior Blue Slime. To do that, I'm going to need my equipment back, so let's just do that real quick. And I think we'll take our favorite pet, obviously this the one that I've named subscribed, to remind you to, hey, subscribe, leave comments, ask questions. If you want to know something that I haven't covered in a video before, let me know. Okay, let's just fast forward our way all the way down to the sunken area. So attempt number 1, still no broken one. And by attempt number 1, I mean attempt number 1 right now, because I've definitely been trying to get this pet for you guys. I mean, if you're going to watch a video about pets, you want to see all the pets, right? So, stand by. We'll see how this one goes. Still nothing. Might go 0 for 3 yet again. And unfortunately, no blue slime. So I think we'll come back later after I get started on the video and the editing and things like that. We'll come right back and we'll try again. Stay tuned. Alright, so quick update. We have managed to obtain a oozy, slippery egg, which is the one that we've been waiting to get, and I've been farming this boss for what seems like hours, and we've gone ahead and put it in the incubator. So let's open this little guy up and take a look at what he has to offer. So he has a 13% chance to apply slippery when wet, 15% against dump bosses, 45% damage. We'll take a closer look here in a second. I'm going to give him some food. He's going to reach level 5. So not max level, but you can still check out his stats here. He has damage against bosses, movement speed, so I'm going to take that. More movement speed, I'm going to take that again. And, you know, I'll level him up and we'll take a look at his other skills. I'll probably take the boss damage and the critical hit damage. I mean, his stats aren't great, but I'm definitely not going to farm a different one, because it took 30 plus attempts to get the egg to drop. So, as you can tell, it took a long time to get the end of this video wrapped up. So make sure to subscribe. And any other questions, you can add them just like this person did. And was the whole reason I decided to make this video. So leave your comments below. We'll see you in the next video.